Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video, we're going to talk about the straw, the third straw that is the last outflow valve at the bottom of Lake Mead. That it's been getting some press lately due to, the drought conditions in the West. This is a July 30th, 2022 article, Strange Sounds, but right here, this is a December 17th, 2014 article, and it talks about the engineering marvel bringing wow factor to Lake Mead. Wow factor. So it's also here on the National Park Service because Lake Mead is a national recreation area. So the Park Service, yeah, they'll have that picture. It's a 3 mile, 24 foot diameter tunnel, which will provide water to over 2 million people of the Las Vegas Valley. And yeah, it says Lake Mead, where the impossible becomes possible. Well, okay, so okay, and what happens after you drain the last drop out? How are you going to fill this reservoir back up? But so that's I guess talking about the engineering marvel here and the fact that the Hoover Dam was created and then Vegas popped up in the middle of the desert. So it says right here, the Hoover Dam was, an engineering feat, but it does the marvel doesn't stop there. 600 feet beneath the Lake Mead, a rock-eating machine of epic proportions has chewed its way through some challenging rock to create a 3 mile long tunnel to secure Las Vegas access to its primary water supply, Lake Mead. So they say it's deemed as the third straw. The project is just that, an overgrown straw to drain water from deep within Lake Mead for treatment and transmission to thirsty residences and business against the Vegas, across the Vegas area. The first intake pipe was constructed in 1971. In 2000, a second pipe was constructed at even deeper depths, and that may have been the end of the story if it wasn't going for the ongoing historic drought. So now we have this third intake valve, the straw. And Lake Mead gives Vegas 90% of its water. So um, it, in order to support people, you have to have water. And this is their water supply. And they said that this pipe is underneath the lake, a pipe, the water from the lake's bottom, similar to the drain on a bathtub. Because this is, as you'll see, it's positioned at the lowest point of the lake, so it will get every last drop before then people in Vegas go, oh, the tap's dry. They act like this is awesome, and it is going to keep Lake Mead, I mean Las Vegas, going. But what happens when it dries up? And how much did this cost to get every last drop out of Lake Mead? $817 million. It says this expensive and challenging project pushes the engineering envelope to provide the 2 million residents of Vegas and 40 million annual visitors the security of water today and for years to come through a tunnel in the bedrock. But, how many years to come if this drought continues and this reservoir doesn't get built back up? But it's this is the Park Service letting you know it's a good thing because you have security now. No, you don't. You just have an extension of a potential disastrous time bomb of Las Vegas running dry of water. So this Boulder City Review 2014 article says this December 17th, 2014. And this week, Nevada saw its own engineering marvel, a tunnel clawed into the earth underneath Lake Mead to a precise point at the bottom of the lake. The tunnel will be home to a new pipeline that will allow Las Vegas to draw water from the lake, even if its surface descends below the two existing intake pipes. So, before, if that water in the lake was below the second intake pipe, what were they going to do? Come out in buckets, start siphoning it out? So, right here in 2008, engineers had to dig a 600-foot access shaft straight down from the precise center of the bottom of the lake, and then hollow out a staggering area for the main event, which a 3-mile tunnel bored underneath at the bottom of Lake Mead by specially designed German-made tunneling machine that chews up rock and spits it back out. The pipeline was built in segments, but that's what they did. After creating the tunnel of nearly 16,000 feet, engineers and workers had to hit a bullseye of just 25.5 feet across to connect the pipeline to the intake structure, which is, I'll show you a picture here. Right here, this is from the next article, Strange Sound. So, this is the lake. So they drilled down a hole in the bottom of the lake here, and then they had to connect this tunnel to it. So when they were done drilling the tunnel across, it had to connect to a 25.5 foot section of bedrock down here. So, yeah, they were sweating that out till the end. And surprise, surprise, the project wasn't easy or without cost. The tunnel flooded twice, delaying the project for months. There was a worker killed, and the project's budget had to be supplemented along the way. Yeah, $817 million, but ultimately they did it. And now, an engineering marvel of the last century, the Hoover Dam will be supplemented by an engineering marvel of this century and continue to make life in this dry, thirsty valley possible. And it's not magic, it's science. So, okay. Well, that is until the last drop of water runs dry, and $817 million to secure how many years of water? A couple? It sounds like. It doesn't really sound like there's a whole lot left at the bottom of this reservoir, but this is an engineering marvel. That's true. It did get a lot of awards. So right here, it says these projects, the dam and this whole are engineering and technological feats that took lots of ingenuity, manpower, and money to accomplish. Okay, so here are some of the awards they won.
Once completed, the project was quick to win accolades. In September 2016, Tunnel Business Magazine gave it the Tunneling Achievement Award of the Year for having been able to excavate a tunnel under high pressure. It also won the prestigious Global Tunneling Project of the Year award from New Civil Engineering Magazine.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty, high respect there. And because this wasn't easy to get to the deeper part of the lake, the tunnel length needed to be 3 miles long, and the path isn't straight. Instead, it curves to follow favorable underground conditions like stable bedrock. So, yeah, advancing this tunnel was not easy under the high pressure and specialized equipment. So, yeah, this was an engineering feat, almost like the Hoover Dam. This was very high tech. They had serious brain power working on this. And right here, it says another challenge is that the tunnel is going through rock, a lot of it first Workers needed to drill, blast, and listen for seismic reflections to create a geology map so they weren't drilling blind. So, yeah, this was a painstaking process, but they're proud of themselves. They did it, and now they like to say that they secured Vegas. They temporarily kept Vegas in a supply of water. But if this reservoir doesn't start getting refilled, this is gonna run out of water. It's yeah. The rig that drilled the tunnel went inch by inch, drilling a 24-hour diameter tunnel day by day below Lake Mead for 3 years. Inch by inch for 3 years. And $817 million. And that was back in, it was completed in the summer of 2015, this article says. So, it would be a little more today. And, you know, if this turns out to be long term, okay, good. But if the water runs dry in Vegas and all you did was just take the last drop, I don't know, is postponing the inevitable worth almost $1 billion? But they did it. And here we are with an engineering marvel that not a lot of people know about, even though it was done back in 2014 and 15, and it is even part of the National Park Service. It's on their page, which meant that these guys had a hand in it. Things didn't happen without, at a minimum, their approval, their oversight. And now we're going to keep Vail. We're going to keep Lake Mead in its third straw. For how long, we don't know, but this became news just because of the conditions out west, and we'll see if this really gets put into application and how long it can keep Vegas going for every day. So stay tuned, people.